second-ranked Indiana at Penn State.
Coverage starts Saturday morning at 10:30 on 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
WVLQ Port St. Joe, WGSX, powered by Panama City Toyota.
ESPN, Northwest Florida.
And now, the Gulf Coast's newest sports talk host.
Hey, there's the new guy.
Paul Wilson.
That is not winning football.
Paul is your pipeline to the heart of the action.
The defense can only play this good for so long.
Hot takes, big reactions, and your calls are incoming.
This week, it's really going to be crucial.
The Sports Blitz.
They're playing championship football.
The new Sports Blitz.
You can say what you want.
On 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Yes, ma'am. It's Friday, and you're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We're so glad that you've decided to join us on this Friday. We've made it to the weekend. Some of us have, not everybody has, but either way, we got about an hour left before everybody is going to be off for the weekend. Don't forget, you can call in. You can text in on the Red 70s phone line, 850-215-6290. We're live and local right here in the CBC Construction Studio, right here in beautiful Panama City, Florida. And as always, on a Friday, I got Jeffrey in the house. Jeffrey, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing good. I was watching some football today. It was my off day.
Yeah. Well, you know, it is LSU week in Alabama. Woo! I'm excited about it. Yes. LSU and Alabama's playing. You act like it's not a big deal. It's a big deal.
You know why? Because you don't have pro sports.
Well,
Alabama and Auburn's all you got.
Yeah, but, I mean, do we even count the Saints at this point?
Oh, my God. It's awful.
I mean, really?
It really is
you don't know
bad.
if you want Spencer Rattler to be your quarterback, if you want to bring Drew Brees back, or Bobby Heber's in the bullpen warming up.
There you go. It's sad that ESPN National even has to talk about the Saints, and they do. It's crazy. I don't even know how they even get into conversations, unless we're talking about the draft and just dodging all the way down to the first pick.
Well, I mean, you just kind of brought us into it, so now we're talking about the Saints. So that's how it probably happens.
That's misery. Now, how about them Falcons?
And as always, on a Friday, we've got the Bone Crusher in there. What's happening, dog?
I am just so stoked to be on the other show here live in the CBC Construction Studio.
It is the other show.
Does that make us the other guys?
I guess so. The other
We're a
guys,
lot funnier. Just like Will Ferrell and Mark.
I don't know.
Marky Mark.
I don't know. I don't know about any of what you guys are talking about.
You never seen that movie? They have
No.
the other guys is a movie.
No.
Will Ferrell. Yeah.
I have never really watched it.
Yeah, maybe you can be Will Ferrell. You think?
I
You
don't
can pull
know.
it off.
Maybe. I don't know. But either way, it's pumping on a Friday. Don't forget, this weekend, we've got awesome stuff going on right here on the radio. Indiana at Penn State at 11, Syracuse at Miami at 2:30, and LSU and Alabama on the nightcap at 6:30 p.m. And then don't forget, on Sunday, the Jags at the Texans. Going to be a good one at noon, and then the Steelers at the Chargers at 7:15 that night. Out of those 5 games, which one would you say is like gonna be the best game of the weekend?
Steelers, Chargers.
Really? You think so?
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy to even think that the Broncos are the team with the best record, but the Steelers and the Colts have the second best record in the NFL. And look, I'm not saying it's hard to play at the Chargers, because it's really not, because their fan base isn't that great. But, I mean, that's a big game.
Yeah.
Steelers on the road.
I think the Jags and the Texans will be a good one. I think because I don't know. I think the Jags are really pushing for the playoffs, and the Texans are really trying to turn it around. If they don't turn it around, it's going to be it's going to be it's going to be in trouble. And then which I think their quarterback's the one that's causing the problem.
Next week we need to talk about who exceeded expectations, who didn't match expectations, and who are we looking at for wild cards.
Yeah.
Because it's getting there.
It's getting
After
pretty
this
close.
weekend, we're going to be looking at it really a lot closer.
Yeah,
and looking at who teams, their next few games.
Yeah. Well, we've been doing this little thing on this show where we share a little news, and I wanted to share that Mark Sanchez is officially out at Fox Sports per The Athletic and Yahoo Today. How do you feel about that? I mean, obviously, he made a big mistake. He's intoxicated, supposedly, and almost died, really. So, I mean, just a big deal. I know there's going to be court proceedings going on, but either way, it's a touchy situation, but the man has lost his job because of it.
Yeah, just as soon as I sound like I'm a touchy-feely kind of guy and I want to see somebody lose his job and everything, I never really was a big fan of Sanchez. I mean, you can't take about what you feel about him playing football, or you're just talking about. But then when he lets his ego get involved, because he thinks he's like big and high and almighty, and that's the reason why the guy ended up stabbing him. Yeah, I mean, he put himself in that situation. It wasn't anybody else. Take responsibility for your actions. Yeah, and I mean, it's crazy when you're involved in the media or when you're on TV and that kind of thing. You cannot get in trouble with your personal life, because if you were at a regular job and you did something and got put in jail over the weekend but got bailed out by the time you got back for Monday, but you're not the face of your organization. Yeah, who told on me? Yeah, but I mean, I don't think they can fire you because of it. They can, because it's a reflection of their company. I think it's a reflection of their company. I think it would be hard, though. No, especially in a state like Florida or Louisiana, because it's employment at will. Yeah, you can get fired for whatever reason. They don't even have to give a reason. What you're saying. They don't have to give a reason, and they don't have to give severance package or nothing. Yeah, well, we're not going to dive into that. You're not going to get your job taken away. We're not trying to do any of that. So let's just
Paul out there this weekend, see what he can do, get in the news, and
I'm gonna take Paul out, get him drunk. No, see what he does. No, absolutely not. Tell him Alabama's nothing, and see him go crazy. No, not gonna happen.
Page on the Banner Herald.
Oh gosh! But also, we had another some breaking news from last night. Brent Key was asked about the coaching carousels going on, seeing whether or not he would take the bait, and he didn't. He said, if you cut me open, it was weird. It was kind of weird the way he did it, because I watched the interview. And so at first he laughed, all right? And then he started talking about his family, and he seemed like he got choked up and kind of sentimental. So he went from laughing and then kind of got sentimental, and then his last answer was, if you cut me open, I'll bleed these colors, which is the gold and blue, which is Georgia Tech. Yeah, Yellow Jackets. Yeah. So how do you feel about that? Do you feel like he made the right decision? Do you feel like do you think he's Mike? Because he's the closest to Mike Elko as Mike Elko. You're at an ACC program. You've been successful. You're an offensive line, defensive line coach. Yeah. And go to be the head coach, because everybody wants to flash in the pan, offensive coordinator or defensive juggernaut, type style coach. Yeah, I mean, I've heard people. It's so weird that conversations come in contact with other conversations. I had a conversation today with someone who, I'm not saying they don't know a lot about football. They do, but they don't know like the higher ends of football. And they said something about an offensive coordinator and how they would be a good choice for a head coaching job. And I said, well, why just an offensive coordinator? Why not a defensive coordinator? And they stuck to it that some reason that's the thought that everybody has, is that offensive coordinators are the number one pick that should move up, not defensive coordinators. Is that astounding to you? It is not. I think that is where everybody's going. Everybody's in that mode and that mindset. So let's look at it real quick. This is all unplanned, so we don't have any notes to look at, but let's look at it. So last year's national championship in college was won by an offensive-minded coach, Ryan Day.
Yeah.
Okay. The year before
Chip Kelly was the offensive coordinator.
Right.
Another offensive mind that was a head coach of a lot of different places.
Right. The year before that, you have a Jim Harbaugh that won the national title,
and was,
quarterback, offensive-minded coach.
True.
So then the following was Kirby Smart. Now you got a defensive coach,
times.
Right? And then after that, you've got Nick Saban, who's a defensive coach, defensive mind. And then the year before you got Coach O.
And then Dabo.
And Coach Saban.
Yeah.
So there's more the last 10 years defensive-minded, which Dabo was a wide receiver in college at Alabama. So you've got...
So Smart's the only one.
Smart and Saban.
Or defense.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You would say Saban's defense?
Yeah, he was a defensive back in high school, and he's the defensive backs coach. I mean, that's where he was the defensive coordinator for Bill Belichick
for the
at the Browns.
Yeah.
So you've got to say Saban and Kirby defense. Coach O, he was offensive line, defensive line, right?
Yeah, he was offensive line when he played.
Okay, so he was an offensive line, but he didn't really call the plays. So I would mainly more consider him like a game manager than anything. But
they definitely look at the offensive coordinators more than the defensive coordinators.
They definitely do now.
Yeah.
And everybody wants the razzle-dazzle. But with that being said, I would love to be able to do an analysis on all of the coaches that are offensive-minded compared to all of the coaches that are defensive-minded. Because I'll give you an example. Marcus Freeman, he was a defensive linebacker at Ohio State. So he's done really well. He's made it to the playoffs, made it to the championship games and all that. So I would love to see the breakdown of who does better. You know what I mean? Like the defensive-minded guys or the offensive-minded guys. Because everybody believes offensive-minded guys, because you got people like Steve Sarkisian, you got people like Lane Kiffin, you got Brian Kelly, you got Ryan Day, you got all of these names that are going out there, but out of those four names, only one of those has won a national title as a head coach.
Brent Venables was defense?
Defense, yeah. So you see what I'm saying? So like it's kind of like one of those things where you don't really know what is what, but you everybody's leaning towards the offense because that's the type of
that's the splash.
That's the splash. That's what we're living like this weekend or these years of college football. Now let me ask you something. There's upset alerts for this weekend, and I'm going to read you some, and I'd like for you to rank them from 1 to 4. What you think? So you got Clemson and
Florida State. Yeah.
You've got Florida and Kentucky. And you've got Oregon and, isn't it Penn State?
No. Penn State is playing Indiana.
Okay.
Oregon's playing Iowa with 2 losses.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. Iowa.
Yep.
And then you've got Texas A&M. They're playing this weekend as well.
Is it Mizzou?
I think they're playing Missouri.
Yeah.
So, and there's been a lot of people already picking Missouri. I'm just going to give you that little heads up. So out of those teams, who do you think's the top one out of those teams? Because that's the top 4 that everybody's picking right now.
Clemson is definitely the number 1 on that one. I would say...
do you think Florida State's going to beat Clemson? Like outright?
I think Florida State's going to beat Clemson.
Because they just don't seem like they've got it together?
Yeah. And Dabo I don't know, he's a shuffled mess, it seems like.
Let me ask you this about that game. I
would say Texas A&M, Missouri might be the second one. I don't believe Oregon's going to lose to Iowa. I really don't. See, that's the least. That
would be the one that I would think that would be a little bit more. But so let me ask you this. If Dabo loses to Florida State, with Florida State having the kind of year that they're having, is that are the fans going to be calling for Dabo's head, or is it going to be the online chatter of the news media that's going to be calling for Dabo's head? Because he's been talking. Because the fans seem like they haven't booed him. They haven't booed him off. I mean,
respect.
Yeah,
and that's good. I like it.
But he's been bringing it up. And the questions have been coming to him, and he's like, yeah, I'd fire me too if I can't win better than this.
Yeah.
So he's kind of initiating some of that. Do you think that Clemson would fire Dabo, or do you believe he would just leave?
He would have to spiral out of control with the media and the fans both. And, of course, the university somehow. But I don't see that happening. I think this is the bye year where they're going to say, okay, well, let's just slide this 1 year, but next year you're bouncing back.
Yeah. Well, let me just say this.
Look at Norvell, 2-10.
Yeah.
That was a slide.
Let me break here with something somebody wrote on Facebook as far as the mug shots go. You guys talking about trying to get me to get a mug shot. Ginger Godwin said that she checks the mug shot pages. She said, don't do it, because she'll find it and she'll put it on Facebook and let everybody see it. So we're going to stay away from that. So, Ginger, there you go. But, yeah, I agree with you. I think that there's so much respect, because you can't really he hasn't had these type of years before. And just because he has, is it that Clemson has gotten to the place to where they're like Alabama, that they've gotten so spoiled as a fan base and spoiled to winning that when you have one little bad season, that's something that you even talk about. Nobody's even talking about Texas, him being on the hot seat, Sarkisian being on the hot seat. Nobody said anything when Jim Harbaugh was losing in Michigan before Connor Stallions joined
before COVID.
And Connor Stallions.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Harbaugh was a Michigan guy. They're very patient up there. But
Clemson
is not spoiled, and they know who brought him back to the promised land. Because when's the last time Clemson won a national title before he got there?
Yeah, a long time ago.
1980.
Yeah.
That's a long time. They've been just without for so long, and they're not a basketball school in ACC. They're the ones that sneaks into the top 5 in ACC every so often, and it's really not that unbelievable. They win one tournament game, they're happy,
Yeah. And that's in their baseball, they're actually pretty good.
They do pretty good. They win the ACC almost every other year.
Yeah, so they do pretty good in baseball, but they don't want to be considered they don't want to be like LSU. They don't want to be
the LSU of the ACC.
Yeah, the Tigers.
They are the Tigers.
They don't want to be that way. So
somebody was joking about Death Valley recently, and it was it's not really intimidating. Oh, that was the thing. Yeah. You want to know what the record of Clemson at home this year is?
1-5, 1-4.
1-4. Mm-hmm. 1-4.
Yeah, it's not very good.
That's awful.
Yeah, that's probably
not
the worst.
Intimidating.
Yeah, it's the worst ever for them.
Are they the real Death Valley for themselves? They're the ones dying.
Yeah. So do you believe Florida State's going to win, though?
Absolutely. That's the number one, hands down.
You think it's going to be big time, or do you think
No. This is going to be a close game. It's going to come down to the wire, I think. But then again, I was wrong last week, because, we picked scores with Taylor Devers last week for the Florida State Wake Forest game, and guess what? The biggest spread we had was 14-point win, and they won by 35.
Yeah, it was really bad.
I didn't see that.
No, I didn't either. No. Today is going to be Chris Hobzilla Day. We're going to be talking a lot about Florida Gators once he gets here. Today he's going to come in at 4:30 in that realm.
Okay.
But
are we talking with Replay Sports cards?
No, we've already spoke to them this week. So
okay, that's right.
Yeah, you were sleeping.
I was sleeping.
But so when we do talk about it, we're going to bring up some intriguing questions about that. There was something else I wanted to say that was breaking news yesterday that I didn't get to talk about, and it deals with baseball, and it's a sad situation to me. But I think it's so Don Mattingly, which is a longtime Yankee player, played first base for all those years. Mm-hmm. He steps down from his Blue Jays bench coach position because he's never won it as a player and he's never won it as a coach. And this year's was the closest that he's been to winning a World Series title. So I know, but I'm just saying, us Yankee fans, we care. I know you said, who cares?
No, I'm not saying who cares. I'm saying the guy's a big name.
Yeah.
He's accomplished so much.
I believe somebody going to pick him up.
Well, I don't know what kind of situation he had going on up in Toronto, or if they really wanted him. Did they still want him?
Yeah, they wanted him. He just stepped away. Yeah.
This might be stress, getting to the what do you call it, the World Series, and you're the only team in Canada? What do you think the pressure is from the media up there?
Oh, it's huge.
You have the whole country on your back.
Yeah, but, I mean, when you look at it that way, I think more or less we're looking at it in the set of saying that it's pretty sad. He's, been so close.
Yeah.
But I still think that somebody's going to call his name. I think he's going to get a call.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if it were...
Take a year off, maybe?
Maybe, but I would not be surprised. I know the Yankee fans. They have. I can't believe Aaron Boone's still there, but he is.
Yeah, he
and
is.
nobody said anything about it, really.
You think that Boone's last year might be next year?
It could be. And then Mattingly comes in and see what happened.
I'm not saying it's not happening.
He was at the Dodgers for a little while. He didn't have a bunch of success, but he was there for a while, and he didn't do half bad. So I really don't know, but I'm just saying, like, it could possibly be that that Mattingly just steps back into it.
It's kudos to organizations to collect information from coaches that are good and learn from it and then carry it on to the next coach. And that might have been a little bit of Mattingly legacy at the Dodgers.
Or he doesn't that's true. I thought you were going to say he helped Toronto get to where they are, in which I think he did.
Yeah.
But I think he probably wants to live in America. So there you go.
Well, don't move to New York City, because that's not America no more.
Oh, man. Either way, we're going to go ahead and take our break on that one. And when we come back, we are going to dive into DJ Lagway a little bit. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Red 17 studio line is now open. 850-215-6290. Keep the game going with ESPN Northwest Florida. Just because you get out of the car doesn't mean the Sports Talk and Live play-by-play have to end. Just say, hey, Alexa, open ESPN Northwest Florida. From Michigan Avenue to the man cave, from the car to the kitchen, we've got you covered. Keep the game going. Hey, Alexa, open ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with Friday's weather forecast. Partly cloudy the rest of the day with temps near 77 and a wind 10 to 15 miles per hour. Very light rain and some clouds tonight, a light breeze and a temperature of 70. About the same tomorrow, around 77 with some sun and a wind coming out of the west-southwest around 7 miles per hour. Mostly sunny Sunday and very warm around 77. This forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
So you've heard the saying that if you love your job, you'll never have to work? Well, it's true.
I've worked for Brock Lawn and Pest Control for many years. The commitment to the needs of customers
and their commitment to each employee makes Brock a company I'm very proud to be a part of.
Brock's core values are also mine. Give people more than they expect and always honor your promises.
This isn't a job. It's a service to help people live a healthier lifestyle.
Brock Lawn and Pest Control. Our family protecting your family.
Check the back seat. Check the back seat.
All right, come here.
Check the back seat.
Gets in your head, right? Good. Because every year, dozens of children are forgotten in the backseat of a car by a parent or caregiver. All never thought it could happen to them. But with changes in routines, distractions, or a sleeping child, it can happen to anyone. Parked cars get hot, fast, and can be deadly. So get it in your head.
Check the back seat.
A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
College Football Saturday on ESPN Radio.
Leaping, grabbing the 2 and into the end zone. Indiana, touchdown.
Undefeated and ranked number 2 in the nation. The Indiana Hoosiers head to Penn State to face the Nittany Lions.
If you want a team that I might least like to play, Indiana would certainly be at the top of the list.
Second-ranked Indiana at Penn State.
Coverage starts Saturday morning at 10:30 on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
You found us inside the CBC Construction Studios. Your favorite team is garbage.
Dallas? I don't want you going to Dallas at all.
And we're here to explain why.
That place is crawling with crackheads and debutantes, and half of them play for the Cowboys.
It's time to take out the trash on the Sports Blitz On 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Don't forget, you can call in. You can text in on the Red 70s phone line, 850-215-6290. It's Pumped Up Friday. We're excited. We're in the CBC Construction Studio here. I'm here joined with Jeffrey and Bone Crusher. And, you know, I went to the Red 70s phone line, and Michigan Bruce, he made a good statement. He said offenses coaches sells tickets, defense coaches wins championships. What do you think about that? Do you agree
100%.
with that?
He nailed it.
Yeah, but you guys,
Come on.
I mean, what we just named them. We named them. Ryan Day is not a defensive guy. He won a championship. Okay, so he got lucky. All right.
He got lucky?
All right.
You don't get lucky and win a national championship.
I mean, you kind of do. You have to.
It takes all year, man. Come on.
All you got to do is make
just for that one moment.
Time out. Let's talk about this. All you got to do is make the playoff and have a reasonably good bracket. I mean, look at some of the games last year.
Man.
Yes. We talk about
Ohio State was hands down not the easiest side of the bracket.
I didn't say
playing Oregon.
I didn't say it. I didn't say they were. All right, but I'm saying there is a case scenario where you could walk yourself right into the semifinals by having a good draw for you. You could play Memphis, and then you could play Ole Miss, and then whoever else could have to go through Alabama and Georgia. I mean,
they opened with Tennessee, man. And Tennessee was ready to run through a brick wall because they were like, we're going to run y'all into the ground. And guess what? 25-point win later, you know, it was like, I think it was 25. It was something like that. They beat them pretty good.
Do I need to draw a picture for you to understand what I'm saying?
No, because Ohio State.
I'm not talking about Ohio State specifically.
Okay, well.
I'm saying in general.
Yeah.
Because you're stating that you couldn't luck into winning a national title. But
no, you can't.
You can have an easier route. How about that? Maybe an easier route.
Sure.
So that's all I was trying to say is that if you were to draw Boise and then your next game would have been Clemson.
There you go.
There you go.
That was Penn State's travels. And guess what?
Easy.
They end up in the Final Four.
Yeah.
And then they lost to Notre Dame, but they played them tough.
Yeah. But you always said when you're talking about that job being the biggest job, you say, well, they made it to the Final Four. Yeah, because they played Boise and then they played a terrible Clemson team that shouldn't have been there either.
They played Clemson first, but So I think that's how it worked.
Yeah, that's how it worked.
I'm trying to think of how it worked. No, Texas beat Clemson. That's what it was. Texas beat Clemson.
So, yeah, there was
And Boise State was a 3 seed, and so, I don't even remember now. It's been, because Penn State was a 6. I think is how it worked. Yeah.
But you could easily back into that and not have to go through Oregon, Alabama, Georgia, those tough type teams. Which I'm not saying Ohio State didn't because they actually did. Tennessee was a good team. Oregon obviously was a great team.
And then Texas.
And then playing Texas, that was a great. I mean, that was
Notre Dame.
They were literally the best team last
year. At that time, at least a month.
At least a month and a half, 2 months. Yeah, they were the best team.
And I still don't even know how they lost to Michigan at the end of the year, at the regular season. It's like they wanted a break. They didn't want to play a conference championship. They're like, let's just lose to Michigan. No.
It worked out.
It worked out for them. They got rest. They got rest.
So it really doesn't matter anymore about conference championships unless you're one of those teams teeter-tottering on being able to make the playoff because you've already got 1 or 2 losses.
Yes, and the best example for that is, Arizona State beat Iowa State. Could you imagine Iowa State being in the playoffs last year? They got steamrolled.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's people here that like Iowa or Arizona State. So obviously, remember we had the comment yesterday about Arizona State.
Yeah.
But I still am not a believer. Yeah, they played a good game. Yeah, they had Scatterbo and their quarterback, whatever his name was. But still.
I love it.
Yeah.
I rewatched that game today because I was inspired to go watch it. Arizona State. Playing
Texas.
Yeah, it's playing Texas. And Texas jumped up on them, 7-0, 17-3 at halftime. Went up, they were 24-8 with 5 minutes left. Now, who do you think got lucky? Arizona State did, because it scored a touchdown and 2-point conversion. And then they scored another touchdown. I'm sorry. They were down by 8 with a... Yeah, they're down by 8. It's down by 16. They scored a touchdown and 2-point conversion. No, let me finish it out. So then they scored a touchdown and 2-point conversion and finally tied it with 5 minutes left. And you know what Texas did? Went down the field, was doing a little field goal. The guy missed it.
Yeah.
With a minute and a half left.
The long-haired boy, the curlies.
Yeah. A minute and a half left. He missed it. And you know what they did? They got the ball back. And then it went down the field again and kicked another field goal to win the game.
Yeah.
And he missed it again.
Yeah, he missed it twice.
And then so Arizona State had their first lead of the game in the first overtime. They scored a touchdown. Texas scored the opposing touchdown. That was the only lead that Arizona State had all game. So Arizona State's the one that got lucky, and there were some lucky plays in there that Arizona State had. Oh, let me tell you about the other one. So to tie the game, they went for a 2-point conversion. The score is 24-22, and Arizona State goes for the 2-point conversion, and they missed it. And then the flag came out after the play.
Yeah.
And it was a hold on the defensive back for Texas. And if you rewatch the play, you can see another hold for Arizona State, and you can see legal man downfield. They had a lineman in end zone.
Yeah.
You could have thrown 2 flags at Arizona State on that play. Instead, Arizona State gets a second shot, halfway distance to the goal, makes a 2-point conversion to tie it and put it in overtime. So Arizona State's the one that got lucky there.
I want everybody to understand what just happened just now. So Jeffrey is such a literal person that he's got to have the exact numbers. There's been times that's been going on, and this is just this is a great Friday topic talk, whatever you want to say. But Jeffrey's a really literal person. So like he wants the numbers to always be right. He could have said they were up by 14 or 15, but if he knew that in his mind that it was 16, it would just blow his mind up because he cannot not be correct about something that he's saying. So that's what we were just going through. So Jeffrey, thank you for that. I want to shift gears a little bit. We appreciate you giving us the play-by-play of the Texas game from last year.
January. It was January. It was this year.
Against Arizona State. So either way, for that fan yesterday that was listening, there you go. Arizona State, in Jeffrey's opinion, got really lucky, honestly, and had a little help from the referee. So there you go.
And 2 missed field goals in the last 2 minutes by Texas.
Right. So they actually...
Who's lucky?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Pretty lucky. Because that guy's been lights out all year, though, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the one with the curls in his hair.
You like that, don't you?
No, I don't. Wow. All right. This is great. All right. So, look, we've got... a lot of unnecessary chatter going on right now is what we have. But if you look at these, I want to bring up these 2 coaches this weekend that's playing. You got Tulane and you got Memphis. Tonight. Yeah, so it's tonight. It's a big game. So it has playoff implications, hugely a big game, right? So obviously Tulane wins. They've got their foothold in pushing into the playoff. Memphis, if they win, that really helps their,
playoff aspirations.
Yeah, all of it.
Yeah.
So you've got 2 coaches though, that John Summerall, and then you've got Silverfield. And so Summerall's been 15-6 at Tulane, and Silverfield's 50-22.
Yeah.
4-0 in the bowl games.
Wow.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. If coaches are being looked at, do you believe that these open jobs are looking at these guys tonight?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Because they're going head to head.
Yeah. And you want to see what their behavior is on the sidelines, how they make adjustments, especially right after halftime. These guys... they're not dummies. They want somebody who's smart and can adjust and not just play, routine things. They have to be able to adjust and do different things.
And
it's multitasking.
Right. We've talked about these smaller college coaches, though, coming into the SEC and getting swallowed up. Billy Napier's is a big candidate for that, just swallowed up. And then when you look at these guys, I'm thinking the same thing. I'm just being honest with you. I mean, when you look at the jobs that are open right now, you got LSU, you got Florida, you've got Arkansas. Well, I'm talking about the SEC specifically.
Yeah, those 3.
And then Auburn. And so you got those four, right? And so on Wednesday, when we had Brad Law on, I don't know if you caught what he said. I wanted to bring this up. This has nothing to do with Summerall or Silverfield, but I don't know if you understood what he was saying, because we were talking about him, the interview process, about who they wanted, what was they looking at, and he made a statement, and it stuck with me. I just haven't had the opportunity to bring it up.
Yeah.
He said DJ Durkin.
Yeah.
Okay? DJ Durkin is who?
He's a Big Ten guy.
No, he is their defensive coordinator.
Oh, yeah.
And he's their interim head coach, DJ Durkin. DJ Durkin is the person that has been leading Auburn's defense all year.
Yeah, and they've been killing it.
They've
week
given
after week and never gave up.
Points or less
and
every
never
single
gave
game.
Up every time, every week.
Every week. Played every team at close. I mean, it was
Texas A&M 16-10.
Right.
Well, do I need to say more? That's an undefeated team.
And they're the third-ranked team. Some believe they should have been second.
Yeah.
So if you look at really when you think about it, he mentioned DJ Durkin. I've not mentioned DJ Durkin the whole time we've been talking about the Auburn job, or any other job for that matter.
Are you talking this into existence? Because it might happen.
I'm telling you what.
If he keeps on doing it right now.
He keeps on doing what he's doing with the defense, and somehow, some way, he pushes an offensive victory where something happens and they win a game that they're not supposed to, or they play Alabama so tight an overtime win or something. I'm just saying, I'm not talking that part into existence, but I'm talking that DJ Durkin, because you got to look at what Auburn's is going through right now. They've had 2 back-to-back supposed offensive-minded coaches that have come to Auburn and has miserably failed. So why wouldn't you take a chance on somebody that's already there, that's not going to break your pocketbook, and you possibly could keep the players that you have, specifically on the defensive side of the ball?
Bingo.
So I don't know.
I think you nailed it.
I don't know. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know all of that. You know
I have to look up where DJ Durkin was. I think he did come from the Big Ten.
Yeah.
I think he's a Big Ten.
Now, we're supposed to be and are going to be talking about DJ Lagway, but now we're talking about DJ Durkin. So we're talking DJs
as long
today.
as not DJ Ugalala. Forget that guy.
Right.
Got to go.
But if you think about it, that could be Auburn's next move. And it never really hit me until I started doing some prep for the show, and I started thinking about, what did he say? Because I was asking him, is it this coach? Is it this coach? Is it this coach?
Is it Brinke? No.
And then he was like, yeah, it could be that coach, or it could be Coach DJ Durkin. And I'm like, whoa. I remember hearing it, but it didn't register. And so could it possibly be that Auburn has this little bit of tryout with DJ Durkin? And I looked at him today. He had a conference. He had his news conference today, and I didn't listen to the whole thing, but I listened to some of it. Now, oddly enough, when he has been the defensive coordinator and been on the podium with the microphone talking about the defensive strategy, he wore a baseball cap. Guess what he didn't have on today?
A baseball cap.
He didn't have a baseball cap on. More of a distinguished look without a baseball cap.
Well, Coach O had this same kind of situation, but it was a little different at USC and at LSU, because when Les Miles was let go, Coach O stepped up and boom, took over the job. And at USC, they said, no, you're crazy and we don't like you in LA.
Right.
And they said, you're not getting the job. And then they brought the guy in from Washington?
Yeah. Sam Hilton. Yeah. Why do you always push these?
Clay Hilton, yeah.
Yeah,
because I'm just saying that's the analogy right there. That's a person who worked out, who came from a coordinator. Somebody got fired, he moved up, and then boom. We're talking about 3 years later in national title. DJ Durkin, I'm not saying he's going to do that at Auburn, but I'm saying that's a safer bet.
It's a good possibility.
Because Harsin...
Yeah, he didn't do anything, and that was offensive-minded. And everybody thought, oh, my gosh, Hugh Freeze is coming. He was at Ole Miss. He beat Alabama. He beat Nick Saban. He won a lot of football games.
He did good at Liberty.
Yeah, but they mainly got him to Auburn because of his record against Alabama. Because you remember those years, we didn't hardly ever go undefeated. It was always a trip up with either Ole Miss or Auburn at the end of the year, and that's always what happened with Alabama's teams with Nick Saban as a coach. And so when you look at what they did, they went too offensive minded. And I'll be honest with you, I mean, if I'm putting my hand in the cookie jar and you slap it a few times, I'm going to stop putting my hand in the cookie jar. So could it be that the Auburn powers that be are saying, we're going to stop with the offensive stuff. We're going to try as a defensive coach and see what happens. Because they really haven't been good.
Nobody thought that Hugh Freeze was a bad hire. When it happened,
they loved him.
Everybody was like,
we're about to get him. We're about to get out. Because, and Coach Whidden said it yesterday that no matter what you do, no matter what you say, Auburn's always going to be little brother in the state. But they usually win 5 or 6 years. Everybody in the state of Auburn football, that was for Auburn football, they said, we got him. We finally got our guy. We got the modern-day Steve Spurrier. We got the Alabama stopper, the Alabama beater. Boom. And then, obviously, it didn't work out. And it hasn't worked out for him either way. So, but that's just what I wanted to say about that. So these guys, Summerall and Silverfield, they're possibly playing tonight for
a head coaching
job at a large university, whether it be Arkansas, whether it be Auburn, whether it be, I think Lane Kiffin's still going to Florida, by the way. I just do. And I know we're going to have Hobzilla on in just a moment, but I still think that that's going to happen. I just think it's just going to get, we're going to have to talk about it. But this is a good deal for those guys tonight. And out of the two, who would you take if you were Auburn? Just out of those two.
50 and 22 is 6 years. So he's not averaging 4 losses per year at a Memphis squad that has all these teams around them just trying to hammer for,
one spot really
for all these recruits. Memphis is always in the talks, but Tulane was something before that guy got there. This is only his second year at Summerall. I'm not really impressed by Summerall, so I'm going to go with Silverfield.
You think Silverfield? Okay.
I would go with Silverfield.
So do you think that...
I don't think he's going to Auburn, though.
No.
I'm going to let you know right now.
Who do you think's going to Auburn?
I think he's just going to Arkansas.
Who do you think's going to Auburn? Say it. I just made you believe it, didn't I?
Well, DJ Durkin, no. You got me believing.
I got you. Yeah.
And he is a name.
Yeah. I mean, he was a head coach. I mean, he's been a head coach, so.
I mean, think about how many times the coordinator has gone. I mean, Brent Venables is from Clemson,
Sarkisian.
They have these guys in the South just going east to west.
Kiffin, Sarkisian.
And they don't go up to Kentucky. They're all going east to west, left and right.
Summerall was at Kentucky, just so you know. So that's what I'm saying. Summerall was at Kentucky.
But he was at Troy.
He was at Troy, but he was a coordinator at Kentucky. So look for Summerall if things don't open up with wherever,
Ooh, that'd be crazy if Stoops got fired and then...
I don't know if Stoops is going to get fired, but I think he might step away.
Oh, yeah. I hope so. I hope it's distinguished. It's not bad.
Good chance.
Yeah.
Either way. We're going to go ahead and take our next break, and when we come back, we're going to talk to Chris Hobzilla about this Florida Gator weekend. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Call or text in now on the Red 7T studio line. 850-215-6290. Mornings on ESPN Northwest Florida just got unsportsmanlike.
The LA Dodgers are not good for baseball. They are great for baseball. And all of those that are detracting against them, you should be mad at your own team for not spending. It's not the Dodgers' fault. This is what baseball has agreed upon. And just because you spend as a Mets fan, unfortunately, it doesn't necessarily mean you win. You got to spend wisely.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle. Weekdays 5 to 7 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Now is a great time for a new Toyota, where you can get 1.99% APR on a new Camry and get $500 in holiday cash. Get 3.49% APR on a new Corolla and get $500 in holiday cash. Get 1.99% on a new Tacoma, plus $1,000 in holiday cash. And 1.99% on a new Tundra, plus you'll get $1,000 in holiday cash. Visit our lot or browse online at Panama City Toyota.
Offers expire December 1st. Visit PanamaCityToyota.com for details.
Strap in, Duval. The Jaguars are gearing up to face the Los Angeles Chargers Sunday, November 16th for our annual Salute to Service game. Join us as we honor and celebrate the brave men and women of our military all game long. Secure your seats now and be a part of the action by visiting jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. Let's stand together, Duval.
Now, we're live and local inside the CBC Construction Studios. The new Sports Blitz.
Oh, yes!
Rants, hot takes, and huge reactions are incoming on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We're so glad that you joined us on this Friday afternoon, almost on Saturday. We're pumped up and ready to go. Going to be talking a lot of college football. Going to be talking some questions about DJ Lagway that we found out, and we got Chris Hobzilla in the building. Chris, how you doing, my friend?
What's up, guys? I'm doing great.
Good, man. Good to have you here. We're pumped up and ready to go. Don't forget, you can call in. You can text in on the Red 70s phone line, 850-215-6290. We do have Bill from Covington on the phone. Bill, how you doing today, buddy?
What's up, bud?
Hey, man. How's it going?
Going great. About to head down to this Memphis-Tulane game. I listened to you guys talking about Silverfield and Summerall.
Yeah, what do you think about that, Bill? Give me your idea. Do you think this is actually a game of who can outcoach the other one and get them into another job?
Yes.
Who would you rather have?
Yes, I do.
Who would you rather have, Summerall or Silverfield?
I take Silverfield.
Yeah, see, that's who Jeff said too. I mean, he's been proven over there. He's done some good stuff.
Because he's a proven winner. He's got longevity. He wins, and his roster this year is basically composed of transfer guys. So he's had to build his roster from portal guys.
I got you.
Got 3 really good quarterbacks on the roster. Me and Javi were talking about that earlier today.
Yeah.
One of them chose Memphis over Florida, Georgia, and Alabama.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
is he the starter?
I think Silverfield's the guy. No, he's a backup because he got a guy on the portal that's apparently won out. So,
all right.
Then, Then another guy that was originally committed to Florida went to Florida, Kamari Wilson. He's a starting safety.
Wow.
He left Florida, went to Arizona State, and then came to Memphis.
Wow. So, Bill, let me ask you this. Since you were listening, did you hear my, I guess maybe my opinion about DJ Durkin and Auburn? How do you feel about that? Because when you look at what they've tried to do with the offensive-minded style coach, it just hasn't worked at Auburn, whereas it's working at other places. Do you think they might give him a shot?
They should. I mean, nobody scored more than 24 points. I mean, how many points?
24.
The most they scored on off?
24.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's pretty much clear. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty clear. I mean, I think, when we talked to the guy that is an insider for Auburn, that's what he said. He mentioned DJ Durkin, and I didn't really talk about it too much, but yeah, it's a good possibility. So let me ask you this.
I don't know if you remember, he was at Florida for a while with Muschamp, and his defenses were always amazing.
Yeah, I'm just not too happy about it, Bill, because I don't like Auburn having good defense for whatever reason.
Yeah, well, I know why you don't.
So anyway,
that's understandable.
So anyway, let's talk about Florida a little bit. How do you feel about this weekend's game, Bill?
Well, well, Kentucky always plays us tough in Lexington. So there's that. If it were me and I were Billy Gonzalez, knowing the history there at Kentucky, playing at Lexington, if DJ starts to struggle, I'd yank him.
Okay.
And this is going to be this is hypothetical, and I'm glad it didn't happen this way. But I think if Napier would have pulled after the first two interceptions, probably would have won that game.
That's true. There's a good chance. I mean, if you can run the ball against LSU, you might could change that scenario because the defense was working very good that night.
I just think that DJ is first off, he's a great athlete, great young man. This is not a knock personally on him. The problem with DJ right now is the fact that he has not practiced.
Yeah.
From the Tulane game last year when we beat Sumrall until the week before LIU. I think Napier did a disservice to DJ. I think he did a disservice to the team by playing him.
Well, that's the big question. That's a really big question. When you look at it, DJ was not, and we know this now, and obviously it was talked about, even Chris talked about it, you talked about it. DJ was not healthy. He wasn't healthy at all at the beginning, at all. And he was going through the motions without practicing. But
have you noticed like the Georgia game, that catch that wasn't a catch, that probably was a catch, who knows? I thought it was from a couple of different angles, but I'm not a ref. But either way, his mechanics are terrible.
Yeah. Footwork.
Had he not been trying to do that jump throw he does, he would have hit the guy in stride, and that'd have been a touchdown easily. Even the pass to Wilson that he scored on, he did the little jump and throw. It's like he automatically thinks he's got to do that.
Yeah,
it's like he's playing shortstop at quarterback.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm just wondering if he, because I was told, like I've said on here before, that he had the surgery that everyone thinks he hasn't had. I'm just wondering if that also, plays a role in it. Like sometimes, like when he was throwing that pass, it came up short because his arm just kind of tweaked, I mean, because I've had injuries and then your arm does something a little strange. So I was just wondering if maybe his arm caught or something.
I think it's a lower body issue, and his mechanics are terrible.
Yeah, I mean, I see that too, but on that particular play, it just almost looked like his arm strength just gave out on him.
Well,
because he's got the arm strength, but it didn't look like a normal DJ pass.
Well, he was escaping the pocket when he threw the ball, and he was going forward. He had time to plant his feet and drive it.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Yeah, it just doesn't look right when you watch him.
And then in his backdrops, his feet are so far apart, like 4 to 5 feet apart.
Yeah, there's a lot of problems.
Well, I like to watch Shane Matthews, and a lot of times he'll talk about Coach Spurrier, which, I mean, Spurrier always had those guys throwing routes on air for an hour every day. And one thing Spurrier always looked for was a guy that won state championships in high school. Now, Spurrier put Danny Werfel on the bench a couple times.
Yeah, he did move those guys around some.
The only one that never got on the bench for Spurrier was Matthews. That tells you a little something.
Yeah, that is true.
Shane says it every day when we talk about DJ, is his mechanics are horrible.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right.
And I agree with him because I've played enough football and watched enough. The guy's mechanics are just terrible. You got to work on it.
Well, that's true. I agree with you.
It can't be solved. It can't be solved the next few games.
No, I agree with that. Well, Bill, we're bumping up against a break
all right,
here.
Man, well, y'all have I'm picking Memphis over Tulane. I think they've got the better team. I don't think Sumrall is all that he's cracked up to be personally.
Well,
I'm hearing Arkansas is looking at Silverfield pretty hard.
There you go. Could be. I believe it, Bill. Well, let us know how it goes. Definitely call in next week. I want to know exactly what happened with this game, too, tonight. So be careful. Wrap yourself up. It might be a little cold up there.
Oh, it ain't too bad. It'll be high 59 at the game time.
Just get you some beers in you.
Don't worry, I will. Already have.
All right, Bill. Thank you, man. We appreciate you.
Y'all have a good night.
You too.
See you.
So that's going to be the question, Chris. I mean, we've got to talk about it. We've got to know. Obviously, we're gonna be going to a break, and then we're really going to dive into it. Is DJ healthy right now? Is he, the DJ that can put a team on his back and win a football game like you want at a program like the University of Florida? That's the questions. Does Billy Gonzalez need to do a little bit of the Steve Spurrier? Does he need to sit DJ if he starts struggling? These are all questions that have to be answered. I'm curious to know your answers to those questions. If DJ's hurt, is DJ needing to be sat? Does Florida need to see what they've got in Trammell Jones? I mean, are those the things that they really need to find out? Because Billy Gonzalez, he's in a particular different kind of scenario. He's actually playing himself for a job as well to stay with whoever they bring in, or to go to one of these other SEC programs that see what he can do with this Florida team that Billy Napier couldn't, and that is win football games and make good decisions or put points on the board more than what Billy Napier could do. Do you agree with that part of it?
Oh,
that Billy G definitely has to?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, Napier was keeping us around 20 points a game. You can't win football games like that, especially if it's a high-scoring game,
Not whenever you're giving up more than 20, 25 a game, 30 a game. Yeah. You got to score the points. I mean, I don't love the outscore your opponent. And Jeffrey, I know you don't. I know you like a good, solid defense that's going to, and that's what LSU had.
From time to time. I mean, 2011 we're talking about, right? And we're talking about it this year.
This year, too. The defense was tough.
I mean, there's been a couple of years where we had good offenses, but mostly, LSU's known for defense and wide receivers, right?
Yeah, mostly.
Yeah.
So,
but 24, holding Georgia to 24 is an accomplishment.
Yeah.
And you said, what did you say last week about this game?
That it would be a close game?
Yeah, and that they would keep it close past halftime.
And he said...
And they were at a lead in the fourth quarter.
He actually said that the actual score at halftime, he said it'll be like 10-10 at halftime. And it was 10-10 at halftime.
Wow.
Yeah. So, you got that one right for sure. Yeah. And then it was close, obviously. So, that's really what Billy Gonzalez is playing for right now, is that his fate. Because nobody's looking at him as being an actual head coach for the Gators, right?
There's a few people, but I agree.
Not a majority, or not anybody that's invested in the program of going forward. And I don't think with him not moving his office, that was a big deal to me, is that, hey, he's just going to be the interim fill-in guy to try to see what happens. And he's a Florida guy. It just seems like he loves the university, and so that's kind of what he's doing. So, but either way, so we're going to answer those questions. Feel free to call in 850-215-6290 if you have your answer to all of these questions. And when we come back, we will dive into all of that. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Reach out and smack someone. Call or text now. 850-215-6290. The Red 17 Studio Line. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida is your home for the NFL.
Touchdown, Denver!
We bring you the biggest games every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night.
Oh, he's got the first down!
Plus, we'll broadcast more college football games than ever before.
He did what?
Live NFL and college football play here.
Unbelievable!
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon, this is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with Friday's weather forecast. Partly cloudy the rest of the day with temps near 77 and a wind 10 to 15 miles per hour.
Very light rain and some clouds tonight, a light breeze and a temperature of 70. About the same tomorrow, around 77 with some sun and a wind coming out of the west-southwest around 7 miles per hour. Mostly sunny Sunday and very warm around 77. This forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Full residential and commercial projects from start to finish, Wheelhouse is ready to help. From the moment you have the thought to build to the moment you step through the front door of your finished project, Wheelhouse Consulting and Engineering will walk you through all of your aspirations. Engineering, site plans, live architectural design, construction, 3D rendering, permits, and more. Wheelhouse Consulting and Engineering, 850-896-6597. That's 850-896-6597. And online at wheelhousedba.com.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
GSX Lynn Haven WFLQ Port St. John. Powered by Panama City Toyota, ESPN Northwest Florida.
College Football Saturday on ESPN Radio.
Leaping grab at the 2 and into the end zone. Indiana, touchdown.
Undefeated and ranked number 2 in the nation. The Indiana Hoosiers head to Penn State to face the Nittany Lions.
And you want a team that I might least like to play? Indiana would certainly be at the top of the list.
Second-ranked Indiana at Penn State.
Coverage starts Saturday morning at 10:30 on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Broadcasting from the CBC Construction Studios. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida airs the biggest games of the week from the SEC, ACC, and beyond. If it matters in college football, it's on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Now back to the Sports Blitz.
It is. It's 5 o'clock on a Friday. We made it to the weekend, baby. We are excited because this weekend is upon us, and we are pumped up and are glad that you are joining us here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. This is the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson. As always, on Friday, I got Jeffrey with me in the house. I got Chris Hopzilla right here with us, and then Bone Crusher is making it all possible. So we are pumped up and ready to go. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about. We definitely talk about these Gators on Friday, and we've got to talk about them today. When you look at it, Chris, there's a lot of things that are happening that's not really being talked about as much, but it's something that is kind of like looming. It seems like there's just a lot of questions and a lot of things just kind of hovering over this program. You know, the first and foremost thing is Lane Kiffin coming to Florida? You know, everybody's talking about it. And, you know, let me ask you this. Do you think right now Lane Kiffin's still coming to Florida?
Well, I mean, over the past few days, you know, because when I was actually told about it, you know, originally, it's been a couple months back now, it's basically I was, you know, stoked about it. I was like, yeah, Lane Kiffin's coming. This is awesome, you know. And right after that, you know, we got rid of Napier, and it was premature, you know, 3 years into the program and everything like that. I'm starting to think now, with seeing the Las Vegas odds and everything else coming out more and more, it does look like he's coming to Florida, you know, because I did trust my source from the beginning, you know, on it. But I kind of got, like, derailed by Ole Miss fans telling me, you know, he's not coming and things like this. And kind of a little doubt in my mind. But now it's definitely looking like, I mean, the last thing I read about him was Miami Dolphins. They're prepared to pay $15 million a year for him, and it's $150 million over the 10 years, So, but the fact that it's a Florida job makes me think, he's definitely wanting to go to Florida, and I don't see a reason for him to go to the Dolphins and take over that mess. So.
Yeah. What do you think, Jeffrey? What do you think? You think Lane train to Florida or no?
No.
You don't? What do you think he's going to do?
He's going to stay at Ole Miss.
You do?
Yeah, absolutely.
So there was a story that came out that said that Ole Miss is amping up their extension policy and that there's a chance that it's going to be announced over the weekend. Now, that is a source that I don't have, but just something that I read. So I'll just be honest with you. Again, the number $70 million more into the NIL, into paying these players to get the best of the best to Florida, knowing that he's a high Eagle guy and that he wants to win championships. See, because I'm under the influence. Not really. I'm not under the influence. No, I don't have anything in front of me. I'm under the impression that he doesn't think. I think he thinks that he's taken Ole Miss as far as he can. And I agree with him if that's his thought, because that's what I think. I think Ole Miss has been as far as they can go with Lane Kiffin. I think he's done everything that he can do. His name, paying the players, making it cool on online social media stuff, throwing his hands up, getting a first-round draft pick quarterback that comes out, having running backs in the NFL, having wide receivers in the NFL. I think he's done everything that he could have quite easily accomplish at Ole Miss, and that's just my opinion. So I believe still that he's coming to Florida, and unless they sign an extension over the weekend, I'll believe that until I see otherwise, if that makes sense.
No, it does. And it's odd, the timing of like I said, it was like 2 months ago. They're like, hey, man, Napier's about to be gone and we're about to have Lane Kiffin. And then, all this noise comes. And the fact that you fired him like when it really didn't make sense to fire him. I feel like maybe Lane Kiffin was kind of like, hey, get rid of that Yahoo you guys got and that'll, show me you guys are serious about it,
Yeah. I think that they were on the same coaching staff, so I probably don't think he said get rid of Yahoo. Yeah. But I get what you're saying. But when you look at, this Florida team with Billy Gonzalez at the helm, you've got this problem, and we're going to get right into it. DJ Lagway is not healthy. He doesn't look healthy. He does this jump pass thing when he's so I don't know if I don't think it's necessarily he's got bad mechanics, but I think because of his injury and playing through injury, he's now throwing the ball wrong. I think he's got some pain, and I think that's really what he's doing.
Yeah, it looks like he's not wanting to put weight on a leg, is what I'm noticing, the one that he had the calf strain on, so, and he had the hamstring issue before that, so, he's definitely not healthy, so a lot of Gator fans are, perplexed by it, and they, want to argue online. You'll see a lot of Gator fans, for DJ, and then there's a lot of Gator fans that are saying give the freshman a start.
What do you think? Honestly, what do you think about it? Do we go with an unproven quarterback that's never won games in Trammell Jones? I'm pronouncing it right.
Yes.
And then or stay with is an injured DJ Lagway what we've seen him do against Georgia, what we've seen him do against LSU, what we've seen him do all year? Is he your best shot at winning, or could we see a Trammell Jones, or at least do what LSU's doing with Van Buren, offer a package? Because I know that the kid's got talent. He's a 5-star coming in. He's a backup, but what do you think about that?
I mean, I agree with the package, but if it was going to be done, it should have been done, when Napier was here earlier in the season before we lost all these games and stuff. I think it would have been good to kind of just sit him like one game and let him know, hey, you're not playing up to par, so we're going to bench you for a little bit, like early in the season, I think it would have worked, but this late in the season, I don't know what that'll, really do that great for the Gators. And, Tramel Jones himself, this late in the season to not get, to play anybody, then all of a sudden he's playing Ole Miss and Florida State and, maybe even Kentucky, this weekend or something like that. I just don't know how that'll translate over, not getting to play at all. So.
I think that could possibly be his coming out party. That would be my question is that, and Jeff, so what, put yourself in the mind of Florida Gator fans and what would you want to see? Would you want to see what you've already saw all year, which is an unhealthy 80% DJ Lagway, or would you say, hey, Trammell. Let's put the new guy in and see what happens?
Put Trammell in. Yeah. Sit DJ Lagway, we've seen that show. It's not a good rerun.
But I mean, you want to keep him for next year, and obviously it's going to be whoever comes in to keep him.
Well, let me tell you. Okay, so if Lane Kiffin's coming to Florida, guess when he's going to see him? 2 weeks, right?
Right.
Less than 2 weeks. They play. They play next week. They play on the 15th.
Yeah.
Ole Miss. Florida's going to Oxford.
Yeah.
When you said that Lane Kiffin's done as much as he could at Ole Miss, it made me think for a second. I was like, you know what? They're playing the Citadel this weekend. And then they're playing the Gators at home. And then they got a bye. So basically, it's essentially 3 byes in a row. Sorry.
Wow.
And then they go to Starkville. They aren't leaving the state of Mississippi. And in the last 3 games in the next 4 weeks. And then guess what they got after that? If Texas or Texas A&M meets Alabama in the SEC championship, they got another bye. And then guess what they get? 11-1. They're ranked number 6 right now. They'll probably move up to number 5. Guess what they're going to get? A home playoff game.
Why are they moving up to number 5?
Because, you have Georgia, Alabama, and Texas A&M above you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's an SEC
Ohio
championship.
State
There's
Indiana.
Yeah, well, either Texas A&M or whoever loses the SEC championship is going to drop below them. Because Ole Miss is going to be 11-1. Has he ever finished 11-1? Never. He's never finished 11-1. So this is the best that he's ever done. And then he'll get a home field advantage in the first round of the playoffs after a bye because he won't be in the SEC championship. Man, this guy's sitting on gold right now.
Yeah. But he was sitting on gold last year.
About 2 losses?
Well,
when he lost to LSU?
No, when he lost to Kentucky.
Oh, yeah. They lost to LSU, Kentucky,
Florida knocked them out.
And
Florida knocked them out.
Yeah. But the loss to Kentucky was the way. I mean, that was
not good.
Yeah, that was the deal.
At the end, that was the killer, but it was the first loss. The Florida loss was the dagger.
Yeah.
Which I'm not sure how much it aggravated them from last year, but this is the highest they've ever been. 11-1.
Yeah, it is the highest.
5 seed. They're 6th right now. I get it, but somebody's going to drop below them. They'll be the 5 seed
as long as they do what they're supposed to do
in a home field first round playoff game.
Yeah, at Ole Miss.
This guy's going to be a superstar in Oxford.
Yeah, he already.
And guess what? He's not leaving.
He already is. He's already there. He hit lightning in the bottle with Trinidad Chambliss. He's not going to be able to year by year go into the portal and get his quarterback, and the quarterback perform like Chambliss has played all year.
So when does he finally tell the Gators next year in January?
Yeah, no, he just finishes at whenever the season's over. Yeah, but I mean,
he's not going to coach in the playoffs.
No, I'm saying
when he's built all the way up to the.
He's going to finish.
He's going to finish next year because the second round of the playoffs will be next year.
Yes, that's
in
what
January.
I'm saying.
That's
I get
awful.
You're being so literal about it. I'm saying, though, if they have a
Gators are going to wait around all the way to January to give Lane Kiffin a job.
If they've got
they've got some kind of verbal agreement, it seems like.
You better get that verbal agreement in paper.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm just saying maybe they do have it. I mean, it's just because it's really weird what's going on, with everything. But what I did want to mention was I did read something earlier about that this could be something Lane Kiffin knew, but there's a rule change by the NCAA that is going to directly affect Ole Miss in the transfer portal. So he's not going to be able to be the portal king there. I don't know what's up with it, but I didn't have the time to read it.
Or NCAA?
I'm not sure. I'd have to go, and I was really busy today, so I didn't get a chance to read into it.
That's good, but either way, we'll table this. We're going to take a call. We've got Kevin on the line. Kevin, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
We're doing fantastic. What's going on, Kevin?
So, I am not that familiar with DJ Lagway and the Florida situation, but you did mention DJ Uyunglele earlier. And so, one of the things that I just wanted to mention is it's easy for fans to say, well, we've seen this starter and he doesn't look that good. We don't know what the new guy is. I want to see what the new guy is. Just remind you that the coaches are watching both of those guys every day in practice. And if that backup was all that in a bag of chips, they would have already put in the package. They would have already thought about bringing him in. And my experience at Florida State, at least, is we've been yelling, give us the backup. And then they give you the backup and you realize, that's why he's the backup. He still doesn't quite have it yet. So it's easy for us to think we don't know what the backup is, but I guarantee you the coaches have a pretty good idea, and there's a reason why he's not in there starting already.
You are 90-something% right, because Quinn Ewers, was the man last year, and Arch Manning was not ready. He was not as good as Quinn Ewers was last year, and that's one example. But, there's every so often there's an anomaly where a player plays better in games than they do in practice.
Yep.
And that does, trust me, it doesn't happen very often, but it does happen. So let's go ahead and take a look at this guy Trammell and see what he does, because Trinidad Chambliss
has done that
at Ole Miss.
One thing
just for reference, I take 51% right. It's better than I usually do. So if I'm 90-some% right, I am
You're right.
thrilled with it.
That's
you
right.
got it. You nailed it, though.
Yeah, you exactly did. Yes, sir. Thanks for the call. We appreciate you, man. That's a great deal. Go ahead.
The one thing I was going to say that I know, Trammell could do better than DJ, would be able to be mobile and move around. He's not going to run around gimpy, so that part would be a difference. But
yeah,
than that,
I agree with him, and we're going to take a next call in just a second. But when you really look at it, he's correct. The caller is correct. Kevin's right. For most of it, we've got to trust that our coaches know more and better than we do. They do. They're making the money. They're the ones that do the film study. They're the ones that see the eye test every single day. And don't think for a moment that if those coaches knew or thought that guy could give them a better chance to win, that he wouldn't already see the field. Now, I think Napier's deal was a little bit more tied to DJ than it was seeing who could be the best, because obviously the kid played when they were up, but then he did not play him in that LSU game with 5 interceptions. Yeah. I know the game was still within
reach. 4 interceptions?
It was 5.
It was 5. Yeah. So, but you see what I'm saying? So that's something there. I want to read something real quick. James Dillon said that DJ Lagway never wants to set his feet and take a hit. And so that's something else. And then James Dillon also said that Lane won't get fired after 4 seasons at Ole Miss. If UF gets Lane, the buyout will be worse than Jimbo's. So there you go on that. We're going to go ahead and take our next call. Tony, you're on with the Sports Blitz. What's going on, Tony?
Not much. How you doing tonight, man?
We're doing fantastic, man. What's going on?
Not much. I just want to give my opinion on the DJ Lagway. I really feel like he needs to be benched. He's just like he's got some rust or something going on there, and I just feel like for everybody's benefit, it would do him and the team good in the long run,
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, and that's why we're talking about it, because we know based off of pictures, based off of inside information and things like that DJ hasn't been healthy. He hasn't had a lot of practice time, and the field test hasn't bid him very well this year. And, especially in those games where he missed people wide open or underthrew them because it seemed like there was an arm strength issue.
Yeah. And I've just been reviewing Hobbzilla's post on him and stuff, and it lines up with what he's saying about him. It's just not good for him or the team, You're
exactly right. I agree with you on that. And we appreciate the call, Tony. When you think about it, Chris, when you look at what Trammell can do better, that's why I say bring in an opportunity. It took a firing of a coach, LSU, to give the other guy an opportunity and to just see what he can do. Because, Jeff, when you look at it, that's the truth. When you see a kid, there are players that play better in the games than they do in practice.
Yeah.
And
call those gamers.
Yeah. And it's true.
And it's crazy because, it's in every sport. It's even in track. You'll time guys in practice and you're like, and then you see him on the relay or in the 100-yard dash and you're like, what is up with that guy,
Yeah. There's an elevation of play when you get in the game. That's where the whole ice in his veins comes from. That's where if the game's on the line, he's a gamer. That's where you see, it separates the men from the boys. You've heard that comment. And so that's the deal too. So, that's part of it.
I have one question real quick though.
Yeah.
Do you bench Garrett Nussmeier or is it Jackson Arnold at Auburn?
Auburn, yeah, they've benched him already.
They've already benched him. What about Garrett Nussmeier?
Well, I don't see why not.
Yeah.
At this point, and I know that they're trying to win, but it also puts Alabama at a disadvantage when you have a quarterback that you don't have a lot of film to study.
Yeah,
you
right.
don't know what he's doing.
And I certainly hope so.
I told you that, and that's one of those things where you got to figure it out. And I think that would also help Florida with DJ and the offense. Do I think they should sit him, bench him, not playing at all? No. But do we allow a package or two? Do we allow, or if we see DJ not looking very good or some of the things that we've seen in those games, what do you think about that?
It would be fair because it would be more rest for him. I really think he needs rest. I really feel like if he would have got a chance to just sit those first few games, but the fans would have went crazy. Like, oh, we want him in, But I really think that would have helped him a lot to heal from the things. Because, he had the scope surgery, he was supposed to have a surgery on his groin. So, he's pretty beat up, and I just wonder if Trammell Jones, with him, if the packages would get dumbed down so much that the play calling would get worse, so.
Yeah, but, you do have a good back in Jaden Ball. And you're weak in your wide receivers now with the other guys being out. So everybody and their mom should be ready for a run game from Florida. Yeah. This is not breaking news, but if you take away the weapons and then you've got a quarterback that's, I would say at best 80%, what are you going to do? I'm going to hand the ball off to my running back.
And Ball, he ran for 5 touchdowns against Kentucky last year, so.
Yeah, so why not hit that bell again?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So
the sad part is that if Ball has an average game, that Kentucky defense is not shabby.
No, they're not.
They're not. That's all they got, pretty much. And I don't know. I went to the Kentucky-Texas game and saw it in person. This could be a replay of that game.
Yeah,
I'm not
low
counting.
Scoring. Kind of whoever wants to get the ball away.
13-13 out of regulation.
Yeah.
I just feel like DJ is going to step up for this game, and I know I say that every week pretty much, but this game is because when you see, I really feel like Florida is going to, be over. It's a 3.5 point spread, I think it's going to be a game where it's like 30 something points to 20, or a possible 40 to 20. I really think, because just last night we got Vernell Brown back and Aiden Mizell. That makes us, we had 17 players injured going into this.
Wow.
And now we only got 14.
Yeah, now we only got 15. But when you get a 5-star wide receiver back, that's a big deal, Yeah. And the other guy, he's really good too. He's a 4-star himself. So I just feel like DJ's out to prove a point because people are talking about benching him and that we will win that game and he will win big and he's going to show out that game.
It makes you wonder what Aguilar's got because Tennessee's the only one that really ran up the score in Kentucky.
Yeah. Makes you wonder, don't it?
Yeah.
We're going to have to take our next break, and when we come back, we're going to dive into more of this. I've got a little question for Hopzilla about this Florida game this weekend. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Taking your hot takes, rants, and takedowns. Let's hear it on the Red 7T studio line. 850-215-6290. Weather in the Panhandle never stops. Turn to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast.
Up to the minute weather reports all day long.
A chance of thunderstorms and moderate rain.
In-depth storm coverage.
Winter Storm Enzo.
And breaking weather as it happens.
Hurricane Helene.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
We do have a tropical storm warning.
Rely on it.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida with your Friday's weather. Tonight there will be a light breeze out of the south-southwest, a chance of thunderstorms, and some clouds, and 70. Some sun tomorrow morning, about the same at 76. In the afternoon and evening, mostly clear and a gentle breeze right around 9 miles per hour with a high of 77. The same at 77 Sunday, and we'll have mostly sunshine. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Golf is a game that should be fun, but to have the most fun, you need to play your best. That's where the experts at Golf Plus come in. Their friendly staff will guide you through the buying process, answer all your questions, and can help with any repairs you need along the way. Golf Plus is your custom fitting, club repair, and golf retail shop. Golf Plus staff is non-commissioned and will work with you to find the best product for your game, just like they've been doing since 1988. Golf Plus in Panama City Beach. Fitting, repair, retail. That's Golf Plus.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5 and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
Transmitting from the CBC Construction Studio. The sports world is a battlefield of opinions.
Auburn's got a serious problem.
And every day, Paul Wilson brings the heat, the fire, and the definitive take.
They are not finding ways to get him the football.
Don't just follow the headlines.
But they lost 2 road games, and these 2 teams are ranked number 5 and number 6.
Be a part of the story on the Sports Blitz. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Don't forget, you can call in. You can text in on the Red 7T's phone line, 850-215-6290. We're going to go straight to the phone line, and we have a call in. Arnold, how you doing today? What's going on?
I'm doing good, man. I just wanted to call and tell you my opinion about Lagway.
Mm-hmm.
I thought personally his best game was against Georgia for this year.
Yeah.
The thing that I wonder about him, though, he looks a lot like Gino Torretta, Walter Lewis. He looks like he ain't been coached along from a freshman on up to get him where he ain't a deer in the headlights, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's a good point.
The thing about it is that Florida has a great team. It's not going to take much coaching to get them where they should be. I think that if they get Lane Kiffin, they'll go to the top right away. But, however, that works out. That'll be all up to them because, you know, I'm a Roll Tide guy.
There you go. Well, that's great. Well, we appreciate the call. Thank you. When you look at it, though, I think he's got a point. I think with the talent that he's got there, depending on whether or not he keeps them. Now, we did find out that, yes, the portal does open whenever your coach gets fired. However, you lose your money if you decide to transfer. So a lot of these kids are going to finish out the year and then possibly go into the portal once they find out who their coach is. And then I'm sure these, again, yes, we might be breaking news right here. I'm sure that Florida is going to definitely talk to their players before the deadline to probably re-up or say, hey, we've got such and such coming. Let's stay with us. Let's hang in here. So that is something good for the teams that don't have their coaches. Now, let me ask you this. DJ, could it be that DJ himself is in a situation too, though, that now he's having to try out for teams as well right now too? So DJ doesn't want to sit. DJ wants to play. So DJ, if they bring the new guy in, if it is Kiffin, will he bring Austin Simmons? If it is the North Texas guy, I'm just throwing names out there, is he going to bring somebody else? If Summerall comes, does Summerall bring somebody else? Because you know how it is when a new coach comes in. Look at what even Brian Daboll did at the Giants. He got rid of the quarterback he didn't bring in and brought his guy in. Everybody always brings their guy. So what do you think about DJ basically now front and center? He's trying out for whoever's coming and or the colleges that know that he's going to be in the portal.
I mean, yeah, that is definitely, something that could happen. Austin Simmons, could come with Kiffin if that truly works out that way. I know we had Austin Simmons committed, and everyone said that, basically kind of chickened out of the quarterback competition with DJ, so that's why he didn't go to, and that's why he ended up at Ole Miss. But you never know how that works out, really. But, yeah, I think it's definitely possible in today's,
And I think that when I get what you're saying, the whole chicken out thing. I think now it's going to be called a business decision.
Yeah.
If I know that I can go make this amount of money and they're guaranteeing me I'm going to be the starter at the beginning.
Yeah.
And as long as I know that I can play good, I'm going
right.
there.
No, you're right.
I'm not going to go compete with you at a bigger school and you're getting money and I'm getting the same money, or you're getting more money and I'm not, and possibly sit the bench. You know what I mean? I'm going to go give my opportunity right over here because
TCU or Houston.
Yeah, or Memphis or Arkansas or Auburn or
I don't think he's going to stay in the SEC.
Don't forget Georgia, though. Like right after the game, he had the coach, and they say that that it was players, that he had played with growing up and things like that. But I doubt that coach was affiliated with DJ that came over and took a selfie with him and smile and all. And then he had a few players tell him, awesome job and everything. So I think that was Kirby's subtle way of saying, come on over to the Dogs.
He likes stealing gators.
Yeah.
Etienne,
it's open.
And Kirby could coach him, and I really feel like DJ's getting an unfair, under the microscope, because basically these 2 years he has had poor coaching, and now he's just regressed instead of progressed with someone like Kirby Smart as a coach or Lane Kiffin,
It's funny when the caller named Gino Toretta, I was thinking, Dennis Erickson was the coach for the Miami Hurricanes when he won the Heisman.
Yeah, that was a long time.
Yeah,
Dennis Erickson was not too shabby, man.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
But when you look at pro production for those Miami quarterbacks,
the Bucs, he didn't pan out.
He didn't pan out.
Here's two things that I think would help DJ Lagway out, and one of them's going to sound kind of mean, but he needs to lose weight. He needs to get back in shape because he hasn't been able to work out as much. So he's kind of like Jamarcus Russell or something like that nowadays, And then the other thing, every time I go on social media, he's got a new sponsor almost, and he's, doing a big photo shoot, like it's almost like he's worried about the outside stuff too much, the money and the glam,
I mean, are we embarking on a new precedent for these guys? Is this the new normal for these guys?
Yeah,
Are we going to be ambassador, a brand? I make my own brand. I make my own clothing line. I'm the face of this product. I mean, we're football players on one side, but we're businessmen on the other side. We're influencers.
It's crazy. The third biggest booster pretty much at LSU, he's a lawyer. and he always has players in his commercials.
Of course.
Yeah.
And Lagway's so big now that I'm, getting some news from people that are telling me basically like, Billy, was nothing compared to what the Lagways are. They say the Lagway family actually runs Gainesville right now. So I don't know how, true that is, but looking at his playing time, it looks true.
Well, I mean, when you're the starting quarterback at the university of the state, or the city that you're in, it usually bids you pretty well. I
just didn't think it would outrule the coach in the university, but it's starting to look like it does.
Well, with the way the way that today is gone, the way it's set up now is we need the players more than we need the coach, because we'll get rid of the coach.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's it. If you're not winning, the coach is the problem. It's never the players. It's always the coach for the most part.
I want at least one more season with DJ Lagway, but there's no doubt in my mind that he could go to Georgia and be a top 10 quarterback.
Oh, wow. You think Bobo could make DJ Lagway a top 10 quarterback?
No.
Sorry.
Just my opinion, but just the program altogether. So
yeah, I mean, do you think Gunnar Stockton is a top 10 quarterback right now?
Ooh, on the edge, number 11 and 12, sure.
In the nation?
In the nation.
He's a game manager, not a game breaker, though. Gunnar Stockton is.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Is Georgia number 5?
Yeah.
Is he in a system?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem. You have yes and no's for his whole argument.
Okay,
being
but
in the top 12.
have you watched Georgia?
Yeah, I have.
Have you
watched
seen
Georgia.
some of the third down plays that he's made?
It's not been great all the time, but
it hasn't. But
they eventually get it done.
He's made explosive plays himself. That was all him getting outside of the pocket, creating.
And when he played Aguilar didn't have the stats, but Gunnar Stockton got the win.
Yeah. And I know that those team wins.
I really feel like Kirby just pulls the wins, just with his coaching and things like that. But I know the players do have to.
We have to wonder
perform.
When they go down 21-7 to Tennessee.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And then
they didn't
fighting back. Yeah.
They didn't even trip. They just came right back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the best coach.
And when Bama gets a lead, guess what? Georgia's coming right back at them.
Yeah.
They're relentless. They have confidence. Mm-hmm. It's like it's in the air.
So I'm going to say this. I heard an interview today, actually. I heard an interview from a Georgia player, and they were talking about how that Kirby Smart learned from Nick Saban the no quit. Mm-hmm. And he said, we were playing Alabama the year that Tua came in. Mm-hmm. He said, and we were winning at halftime. And he said, we were busting their butt. And he said, we had people with phones on the sideline. Quavo had stars on the sideline. Bill Goldberg, all those guys on the sideline. And he was like, he said, I remember being interviewed by somebody on the sideline with their phone saying, what are y'all doing? He's like, we giving it to Alabama. We busting their butts. And he said, when we went into halftime, Kirby came in there with this straight face. He said, everybody's laughing, high-fiving, thinking that we done busted Alabama's butt. He said, Kirby stopped it all and made everybody be quiet. And he told them, he said, if you think for 1 minute that they're quitting, you got another thing coming. And he said, and we getting beat like that, he said, Kirby took that from Coach Saban and learned to never quit and never give up no matter what the score is at halftime. So anyway, I said all that to say, program being ran the right way with the right players gets what you've seen at Alabama and Georgia. And if you can do that at Florida, I think you'll be mentioning Florida's name with all of those guys in the next future. But you got to get the right guy in there.
Yeah, I wish we could get Kirby Smart. I would take him
crazy.
over.
That's his second biggest rival, we'll say, right? Georgia?
Yeah, it is. But the thing is, look, Kiffin's about to be making more than Kirby Smart. That really don't make any sense. Do you think he's going to want to redo his contract after that?
I don't know.
Because he's want to be the highest paid guy.
Yeah, but he's alumni.
Championships.
He's alumni.
That kind of money seems like, what do you want, 7 houses or you want 4 houses?
Yeah.
No, really.
Right.
To me, that's not the way I would go.
I just feel like he'd want to be the top dog still, though, with the pun intended.
Some people, like he says, ego. But
Kirby.
Yeah, he does have an ego. We know that. But how far does it go? And how much is it matured in is getting older, because you change when you get older.
No, it's true. And you know what? You know what doesn't change?
Gambling.
Great deals at AutoNation Ford in Panama City. If you need a vehicle, if you need to go see those guys over there, because they will make it happen for you. If you need financing, they got financing deals. If you want to get their lowest bottom dollar price, they'll get you hooked up with the people to get that done. Go see them, 730 West 15th Street, AutoNation Ford in Panama City. Don't forget to tell them that Paul sent you. Also, Recommended Collision Center. Brandon and those guys do a great job. They're locally owned. They're locally operated. They're not going to they're not shysters. They're not going to put you to the side. They're going to fix your vehicle the right way. It's your vehicle. It's what people see when you pull up to pick up your kids. They will fix your car the right way. They'll get it painted nicely and take their time and do it the right way, because you know why? Because they're local, because they'll see you in the grocery store, they'll see you in the supermarket, and they'll be able to know that they did you the right way. Jeffrey, go ahead.
You want another reason to know why to bet? Don't get hit by the injury bug anymore. Bet the Week 11 games with injury insurance. If the player you bet on exits the game in the first half due to injury, you'll get your bet back on a bonus bet.
Oh, man.
Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 or older. Physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
They changed it.
Yeah, they did.
So last week, we started a new thing with Anytime Fitness, and Chris Obzilla, you are going to go and be our test.
Exactly.
I'm not calling you a dummy.
If you agree
I'm
to
calling
this,
you a test guy for
yes.
this. And you know what else? Who on listening right now, we're just going to do it. If you want a free membership to Anytime Fitness, call in 850-215-6290, and we'll give you a 30-day free membership over there. Go try it out. See if you like it. It's a brand new gym. It's great. It's over in the Coronado Shopping Center. I got it right because I am French. I think that's what it is. But anyway, we're going to set up Chris. Chris, we're not going to do measurements. We're not going to make you take your shirt off, but we are going to ask you questions throughout the weeks to see how it goes. So, I heard that your son got in, he's trying to get big for football. Yep. And, you are looking a little puny right now. So
how old is he?
He's 15.
Okay, perfect age for starting.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been working out for a long time for a kid, like at least like on and off, over the past 2 years,
Yeah.
He's a big kid. He's 200 pounds, 5'8". So that's who I'm most, excited about training, I'm going to.
With him, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to actually train him myself.
There you go.
But, I'm excited to do it. It's time for me to get back in shape, so.
That's right. And there's no reason to wait until the first of the year. Like everybody's always like, let's wait till the first of the year. New Year's resolution. Let's get in shape. And then what happens? It falls off. Everybody falls off and they don't do it anymore. So get it before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
You can eat what you want at Thanksgiving and not feel bad about it. Right?
Yeah, I was in the gym today. It was packed. I couldn't believe it. And then guess what? In May, it's funny because people go in there for like 2 weeks straight. Think they can get their beach bod on for just 2 weeks and that's it.
It doesn't work
and
that
it doesn't
way.
work that way. Sorry.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, and that's the worst time to go. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I'm just saying that's the worst time to go is the first of the year because that's when everybody wants that first year resolution.
And then May is like the second revival of it.
Yeah. Beach body, baby. Let's go. But anyway, when we come back, we're going to discuss the last part of the puzzle about these Gators. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Call in now.
This is Touchstone Service.
The Red 70s studio line is open.
Demonstrate how to make a call with your dial telephone.
850-215-6290. ESPN Northwest Florida. Here's what's happening.
Here we go. The Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson will be awarding the Sports Blitz High School Player of the Week. This will go to the outstanding high school football player for each week. The player will receive a gift card from a local restaurant and an ESPN Northwest Florida t-shirt. Coaches, Students, parents, and fans, comment on our Facebook page or call in at 850-215-6290 to nominate.
Tired of boring merch and want your brand to stand out like the big names? Elevate your look with Red 7 Tees. They don't just print shirts, they create bold identities. They are a veteran-owned custom apparel shop providing the kind of detail that turns heads, using high-quality digital printing and embroidery to give you that unique style you love with no minimums or cookie-cutter designs. From small business to sports teams, if you've got a vision, they'll help you wear it proudly. Visit red7tees.com.
Are you thinking of doing a fundraiser? Well, Krispy Kreme Donuts next to HCA Hospital, 23rd Street, Panama City, and on the Ross Clark Circle in Dothan says, let's raise some dough. Earn up to 50% profit with a Krispy Kreme fundraiser in-shop or online. So let's raise some dough. At Krispy Kreme Donuts next to HCA Hospital, 23rd Street, Panama City, and on the Ross Clark Circle in Dothan.
Saturday on ESPN Radio.
Leaping grab of the 2 and into the end zone. Indiana touchdown.
Undefeated and ranked number 2 in the nation. The Indiana Hoosiers head to Penn State to face the Nittany Lions.
And you want a team that I might least like to play? Indiana would certainly be at the top of the list.
Second-ranked Indiana at Penn State.
Coverage starts Saturday morning at 10:30 on 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
If you build it, they will come. We're live from the CBC Construction Studios. And now the Gulf Coast's newest sports talk host, Paul Wilson.
Fresh new start.
Locally sourced, farm to radio. The Sports Blitz.
We're starting fresh.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Don't forget, you can call in, you can text in on the Red 7 Tees phone line, 850-215-6290. We've got Chris Hobzilla in the building. We've got Jeffrey in the building. Bone Crusher is setting us all on the play button. But anyway, we've got to talk about this. This is the third leg of the race. I want to ask Chris Hobzilla, and I haven't asked you this question yet. Is there a chance that if Tramel Jones gets in the game, that it could really aggravate DJ Lagway to the point that he enters the transfer portal? Is that something that Florida fans fear? Is that something that maybe Billy Gonzalez fears? And does that, the second part of the question, with fearing that, is that why we haven't heard anything about possibly doing a package for Tramel Jones?
Yeah, I mean, that totally makes good sense to me, because, I've heard him and Tramel are really close, that DJ played, everything in getting him to Gainesville. So maybe it's kind of a respect kind of thing at the same time, or maybe there's something in his contract that just states, as long as his arm's not literally falling off or something like that, he gets to play. But I'm not sure, as far as with Tramel Jones and everything, I feel like them being close, but I just think that DJ's that kind of a player that if he don't start, if they bench him, that might be the final, little nail in the coffin, because, he was not happy about the way they're playing and things like that. So if they bench him too, I think that may be something that would put him in the portal in January 1st or January 5th. In this kind of a season where it's been this bad that you've had to get rid of your coach and everything, benching him too, I think you're just going to, take him off, like you said.
What do you think, Jeffrey? Do you think that's a possibility? Do you think that's something that they're having to handle with kid gloves? Because they want to, DJ Lagway, at the beginning of the year, top 5 quarterback in the SEC. We all talked about it. Even maybe possibly a top 5 in the country at the time when we first was going into preseason rankings and all of that. But when you look at this team, there's a lot on the line because there's a lot of talent on the football field. There's a lot of talent on this roster. Like him, love him, hate him, Billy Napier did an outstanding job getting good football players on both sides of the ball. And so that's the juggling that has to go on with the university, no matter what coach you get. Because you're right, if Ole Miss does win out and then they go into the playoffs, you're talking about January before you're even talking about getting him signed up to play, as the coach of the Gators.
It could be a week before classes start. That's bad.
That's very bad. It's bad timing.
And if you bench Lagway, do you know he's got to sit around for 2 ranked games? Because they got Tennessee and they got whoever they play next week, right? Ole Miss, Tennessee, and Florida State. If he gets benched, he'll be sitting on the sidelines. You know how mentally draining that is to sit on the sidelines knowing that you're never going to play for the school again?
And embarrassing, too.
Embarrassing. And you the stuff that's going through your head for 3.5 hours every week like that, and then the practice and everything, it's mentally draining. I hate it for any person who's 19 or 20 years old.
Yeah, and this is what this whole NIL, this is what the transfer portal has created.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That when you lose a coach and it opens, and then the new guy comes in, yes, they can leave. They're going to throw away all that money, which is not what they're doing. Nobody seems like they're doing that because they realize that money talks whenever they've signed up for these contracts.
Yeah.
But the actual university has to do a great job with juggling all of the playing time. And with DJ, if he, I don't know him personally, and I'm not saying he is or not, but is he a prima donna? Is he a high ego guy? Is he one of those guys that, if you say, hey, take this play off, we're going to let Tremel play here, and is that going to, what do you mean? You're going to sit me? Right. I mean, you know what I mean? I want my competitor. I want to be on the field. You know what I'm saying? So all of these emotions, all of these things, and Jeff, you made a good point. An 18, 19, 20-year-old kid that's always been the star, that's never had the backseat to nobody, and has always been in the limelight. How does he handle it? How does he, you know what I mean? How can you deal with that?
I mean, my dad taught me how to eat humble pie. And some people have never been told how to do that, or how you could even possibly do that, because you've been told for so many years, hey, you're the star quarterback.
Yeah.
You're the homecoming. You're the homecoming king.
Yeah, you're everything.
You're Al Bundy.
Yeah, you're everything.
4 touchdowns, 1 game.
Yeah, you're the one. And you know what? Maybe he is the one. Maybe DJ Lagway next year is going to be the best quarterback in the country. There's a possibility. There's that talent there. So it just depends on how he gets coached up. But these are the questions. It's easy to sit and talk about it, but when you start really digging deep into it, there's a lot of peeling and layers of this whole puzzle. There's pieces that we don't probably even know that's going on that could make a big difference in whether or not he's a Florida Gator next year.
Yeah, that's really true.
And you have to send in the right assistant to go talk to him. And say, because he might send, I don't know, offensive line coach to go talk to him, and he doesn't like the guy. He's not going to listen to him. Well, he stay here at the University of Florida.
Well,
he might change his decision.
And that's why, when you look at this team, it's always been Napier and DJ. They've been tied together.
Yeah.
And you wonder if with DJ, or with Billy being fired like that.
That's an NFL thing, and that's an NFL thing.
It is.
As soon as Chicago Bears is the perfect example. You know, coaches linked to a quarterback, and it happens all over the NFL. Now could be a college football thing.
Yeah. It's very well being a crazy deal because it's starting to be like NFL in college.
Have I told you guys that he played running back all through his career until high school?
Wow.
Wow.
So, I mean, he really hasn't had a lot of quarterback, time. I mean, 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade, like it's kind of interesting.
It's pretty remarkable. Yeah. Actually.
Just
That's astounding.
Yeah, go from running back to, hey, this is the best high school recruit, so.
Yeah,
I usually see just the opposite a lot more. And running back going to quarterback, usually his quarterback goes to running back.
Well, I'm just wondering if that's why we're having some of these issues we're having with him now. Like in high school, it worked, it looked great, but now, in practice, it looks great and everything, but then you get him in the game and you got a running back playing quarterback.
And this is not the first time that we've had a Florida quarterback that did not have great mechanics, because that was the whole deal with Tebow.
Yep,
the way he distributed the ball. He didn't go to his ear. He did more of a wind-up motion. But we got to get these NFL picks. Go ahead, hit me up, Jeffrey. What you got?
Saints of Carolina.
Oh, come on, Carolina. Give me Carolina. Bryce Young is doing a great job with the Carolina Panthers. Turned it around a little bit. I'm just saying.
Yep, I'll pick them. I'm going to pick more road teams than home today. Jacksonville, Houston. I'm going to take Jacksonville.
All right. I think I'm going Jacksonville, too. Wow. Hobbzilla, you want to jump in on this a little bit? You like Jacksonville or you like the Texans at home?
Jacksonville.
Yeah, I'm going Jacksonville, too. Yeah.
Okay, we got Arizona, Seattle. I'm taking Seattle at home.
Oh, yeah. Seattle is probably the dark horse to really make a nice little playoff run. They've got good football playing going on right now. Sam Darnold, whether you like him or not, he is doing good. This is the second team he's done really good for back-to-back seasons. That's pretty good.
So you would put him on keel with like the Vikings or the Bucks?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. Maybe even ahead of the Vikings and even with the Bucks. That's where I see them right now.
This is a game that all the West Coast wants us to like and be interested in.
And it's not.
Not really. The Rams and the 49ers.
So with the Rams and the 49ers, it's very interesting because they're still having a timeline for Brock Purdy to come back. But Mac Jones is really doing well.
Yeah.
And the thing is are they going to let Purdy come back? Because when you have the turf toe, you don't normally get healed until it's like long time. It takes a long time to be fully 100%. And so with him having the turf toe and all of that, Brock Purdy is pretty close to coming back. And the question is are they going to keep the hot hand Mac Jones playing, winning football games, or are they going to bring Brock Purdy back? But who are you going with?
Rams.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's not...
They're on the road.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
No,
I think the Rams are going to get them, too.
That's a crazy rivalry because you never know.
You do never know. That one's going to be close, I think.
Detroit at Washington. I'm taking Detroit. Washington has not been good lately.
No, they haven't, and it's because of their quarterback. Obviously, he's been hurt. But we did get some news from Quinn today. He come out and said that it looks like that even though how gruesome the injury was to Jaden Daniels, he is not going to be ruled out for the season. So he's going to be in there. So he's going to still play, but not this weekend.
I saw that, and I was like, that's a break. And then they're like, oh, it's only dislocated. And I was like, did you see it?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, it looked like his arm. It looked like somebody just...
His arm went down. He spun around, and his arm went down, and then when his body was coming down, his elbow went right here. It was like bent back. And I was like, oh, God, don't even...
Yeah, it's tough.
That's
really tough. So
Jaden Daniels out.
I would ask you for that one, but you're definitely not going to go with the Commanders. I almost called them the Redskins.
No. Yeah. I was about to say that, too.
Steelers at Chargers.
This is interesting.
This is a big game. This is...
7:15
This is a
kickoff
night game on Sunday night. Yeah. I'm going to go Chargers. Are you going to go Steelers?
I don't know. Hobbzilla, where are you going?
I'm not sure on that one, honestly. I haven't kept up with either of those two. My bad.
Yeah, no,
the Chargers fans might be louder than Kentucky, which is not a lot.
That's true.
That's not loud at all.
I wouldn't call the Chargers like a big, hard place to play.
No, it's not.
But I do think that the Chargers will win the game. I think that they're better. Aaron Rodgers is doing pretty good, but the Steelers' defense is a little bit suspect here lately.
Steelers win this, they're going to run away with that division.
They are.
Because the Bengals, the Browns, and
they're not very good. So there you go.
That was weird.
Yeah, that is weird.
Had an alarm.
Yeah,
I need to wake up now.
Yeah.
Last one is Monday Night Football. We got Eagles at the Packers.
That's interesting.
Yes, this is maybe the hardest game in the whole week to pick.
All right. Have you watched any of the Eagles
Yes.
or the Packers? Go ahead. We'll let you go first.
If it's the normal Eagles, then the Eagles should be fine.
You're right. But the Packers are actually more inconsistent than the Eagles because the way they started out the season and everything, I was convinced. And then now they're just kind of, which game plan are you taking? I don't know. I'm taking the Eagles on this one.
Yeah, that's what I was going for.
Yeah, I'm going Eagles as well. I think that you said a mouthful when you said the Packers just have been so up and down. It's just not very good. So either way, I believe.
And this game is at Lambeau.
Yeah, I still think, they lost at Lambeau last week. Would it be 2 losses in a row at Lambeau?
Yeah, I don't know how they're playing to the level of the competition.
All right, we got Kyle on the phone real quick. We got 1 minute. Kyle, are you there, my friend?
Yes, I'm here. So I know you guys got to go quick. I do have a quick question. What are your thoughts on the Kentucky game? Do you think we win? And also, should we give Tramel Jones a shot if DJ Lagway keeps struggling?
All right, Kyle, thank you for the call. Yes, I think Florida wins the football game. Give me them 20-7.
Ooh.
And
I'll say 2010.
I think Tramel Jones will get to play. Not sure if that's the right call or not. But either way, thank you for listening. We will see you on Monday. You've been listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida. Have a great weekend, everybody.
The vanilla opinions, the polite debates, the hosts who are afraid to say what they really think. So are we. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida is bringing the house. It's the new Sports Blitz.
Weekdays 4 to 6.